Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the post-race reviews with a double header for the S5000 round 7, I believe. 2 weeks ago.
Round 7.
Yep, and then we'll go on to the F4 for a couple of days ago. All right, we've got Ty Ratcliffe with me and myself. Dave Roberts is currently AWOL but may show up soon. Ty, what have we got to go first?
Hopefully we don't have any disagreements and need a tiebreaker, but we've got the S5000, so this is the Suzuka race. We reviewed pretty much most of the incidents during the race. There were a couple of things that came up, mostly noted around passing during safety car. So the first one we'll look at is on car 32, lap 14, so that'll be off the feature.
Sorry, say again.
Car 32, lap 14.
32, lap 14, the feature, and this is probably going to hang just for a second.
That's right. So at this point, the safety car had been out for a fair while, and they are.
And what is the actual incident that we're looking at?
So there was a car that had spun around, which is
safety car.
We can look at that as well. But my deal might have to. Okay, I've got car. That doesn't look right. Passing during safety car. Yeah, I've got car 32, lap 14, so he must be catching up. We've got another car that had spun around and is back on the track there, and then this popped up as, say, passing under safety car. So the rules are, if the car is off the track, you're allowed to pass under safety car. Once the car's back on the track, you need to sit behind them, and if they're limping, and you can, if they're significantly damaged, then people can call out to confirm if they go around. But once the car's back on track, they need to sit behind them. Now, the question here is, I mean, is it reasonable to think that this car thought that that car was off the track and went around them?
Yeah, and I sort of think we would let me see here actually.
Yeah, so we've got two of these to look at, and they're both very similar within that. So
I think that's right on the line. I think that's enough for me anyway.
So that's
let that one go.
Yep. So that one's for position, I think it was, but that's okay. We'll look at the other one, which isn't for position, but it's very similar.
That's so. I'd be happy to let that one go personally.
Yep. So yeah, as we're normally looking at during the race, obviously that comes up immediately. So one of those ones that it's as a time-second penalty, we apply that post-race anyway. So I'm happy to let that one go if that's.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's
on the
still 180 k's in there at this point. I think that's fine.
Perfect. Yep. I'm happy with that. I'm okay with that. We'll take that into consideration when we're looking at things in the future. We haven't had to really look at anything where that line actually is of a car being off track. So the rules are, if it's off track, I think if you thought that car was recovering from an incident and limping, that you've got to call out to confirm. But at that speed coming around the corner, I'm not sure that he had that opportunity. So I'm happy to
I think
call
so
that.
Too.
Okay, I'll overturn that one. So that was a 5-second penalty. We'll change that one to a no further action. And successful appeal. Perfect. Okay, let's have a look at another one. So this was car 17 on lap 12. Or at least it says lap 12. I've got lap 14, but it might be. In the protest, it says lap 12, but in my sheet, I've got lap 14. I reckon it'll be lap 14. It's just coming up here. So, yeah, definitely lap 14.
Whoa, he's gone off.
That one. No. This one he actually asked for permission to pass him. So on this lap.
Looks like he wasn't going anyway, but I think he got lucky there.
Yeah, that's it. No, but before that, I think if you turn the audio on, Tim, this was the lap that Tim actually called out and said, if the car's limping, am I allowed to go past him? And you said yes. And so that...
Yes, you can tell, and you need to use your comms there, mate.
Also, car 44 limping back to the pit.
Copy 43.
Yeah,
It's easy asked afterwards.
he's disabled there.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. He's off track anyway, luckily, but...
And probably not that behind. But I mean, not that it actually matters, but like...
Yeah, go forward 2 laps. Go to lap 14, because...
Yeah, just go past. Safety car now. I called that one.
I do remember Tim was the one that did ask about limping, so I'm not sure if maybe he did that after he'd overtaken him, but either way.
Yeah, you probably thought about it afterwards and then asked, but like if that was the incident before, I mean, he was clearly...
Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that one as well. That
Yeah.
is, it looks more like a car's limping and then kind of pulled off the track to allow it, but that's fine. Go forward up to the little hairpin.
Nice lap.
No, it's definitely not on behind the safety car. Maybe try car 32's lap 14.
Now too.
Try car 32's lap 14. They're probably on different laps. That was what we looked at before, wasn't it? Car 32.
Yeah, this will be the incident here.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, if it was the other one with Tim...
No, I remember seeing the other one. It was in the hairpin, and a car was off the track and had kind of recovered and just tried to join back the track again.
We've gone past that. Let's go for 13, maybe.
Oh, maybe I'm just going crazy. Just there.
It, yeah.
That's it.
Smoke shit everywhere.
And now this one, the other car was a lap down as well. So this one's not for position. Not that that matters, but...
So you were saying smoke. He's off the track now. He's come round. It's another like on the line one, which I'm kind of happy to let it go.
Yeah, I think if we let the other one go, that one's kind of in the similar.
Yeah, there's nothing blatant. He's only just come on. And what happened to be that come through? Or... Tim's pitted anyway.
So, Tim has put something in for this one. I'm just having a quick read of it. But
so Tim's pitted.
He's just saying that what he's saying is he saw he saw the smoke, had slowed down, saw the car was off the track at that point, and thought that the car was damaged and limping back off the track, and was going around him and just thinking he was off track, and then. But at the point he realised he was actually attempting re-entry, he would have had to jam on the brakes and
I think
wasn't able to. He'd already made that
decision.
Yeah, that decision that he.
I think that's fair.
The person was limping.
I think that's fair because
off
like
the track.
Tim pitted, and then Callan got let through the safety car, and all's well.
Yeah, well, that also wasn't for position. So Tim's coming around the corner. He's got a guy with blue flags in front of him. Obviously, has had the smoke around, and I think he's assumed that the person was, blue flags down, behind everyone, limping back and limping off track. So go to Tim's cockpit.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
So that's from.
Ooh, Dave's back.
Was here, but you guys were all so late, and then I got caught up doing work for Scotland again. So you know.
Yeah, there we go.
All good, mate. We're live now anyway, Dave. So we're looking through some.
Yeah,
sorry, go from his cockpit.
Yeah, I think that's
Sorry,
a fair comment, to be honest with you. And the fact that Tim pitted and we let Callan through, and I don't think it'd be fair to penalise anyone on that.
Look, I think that if that was for position, I would see that as kind of jumping on an opportunity and taking advantage. Because it wasn't for position, I think he's just naturally assumed that person was limping back and so far behind and cruising back and wasn't. I mean, there was no advantage taken there, but we're literally just looking at passing during safety car, and I think that's line ball. But I think that if that was for position and someone was trying to take advantage of it, I'd be a little more concerned.
Yeah.
But given you've got got the guy in the lead in front of in first place, approaching smoke from a guy with blue flags down, I think that's safe.
And off track when he's come around the hairpin as well.
And under safety car, the guy's like smoke and spun out under safety car by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm cool. That's nothing.
We're okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're calling both of those. So just to confirm that the cars had spun around, they were off track. If they were completely off track, there's absolutely no question. But because in both cases they were kind of just getting back on the track, and the cars going around them were kind of at speed, we're calling it a line ball, and in this case, no further.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, we've got car 43 on lap 12. Now, again, I'm not sure if this is car 43's lap 12. And this is on the back straight. It might be car 369's lap 12. Looking at Caleb's obviously in pits, because I believe it was car 43 is limping back. Dave, this is one we had a conversation about on the night, so it's great that you're here now because you haven't seen this one, so it'll be good to get your input. Yep.
So,
You there, Dave?
Yeah.
So, Dave, this car here is called limping.
Yeah. He's got no rear wing, no nothing on it. Yeah.
Got nothing on it. It's called limping. He's got a car out of control. He's done that, and he's not really clobbered the other car, but there was an incident.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they've had a coming together.
They're coming together, and I wasn't really cool with this at all because we say you've got every right to limp home, but if you're that damaged,
But we always say, if you have an accident limping home, mate, that's not cool, don't we? And
no, at all, and I don't think.
So I think that's really poor.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, me too.
And what he's doing is he's trying to drive it too fast for what the car is. Can't control it. Has gone off and hit somebody. And you don't know how much damage they got in that accident or whatever, or what they did, what they didn't. But not good. Not good at all. That's one of the leaders. So yeah, no. That for me that's a huge no-no.
Yeah. So
that big an accident that it's upside down and everything. I mean, geez, really?
Yeah. And I mean, like penalising is not going to do anything because he's left the session. But I just wanted to call that out to everyone that's it's just not on because you're driving a car that's pretty much not fit for the road or the track. And if you're trying to overdrive it,
30 mile an hour.
Yep. So drive slower or just tow. We'll call for a tow. And it's pretty much. I just want to do this as a comment.
Yeah, well, the car's that bad, you shouldn't be trying to.
No.
You should make a decision. So this isn't really drivable. I better tow it back.
Or don't drive it so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, look, our 5-second conversation on the night, like I disagreed, but now that we're talking about it, I just completely see that side of it and agree.
The
You
trouble
have
is,
to
it
like
could,
to
have,
link back.
it could very well have been the leader of the race, and you could have destroyed the leader of the race.
Well, it's pretty close.
You know, exactly.
Yeah, that was close.
Pretty much taking the paper car right there.
Yeah. No, I agree. If you're limping back, you have the right to limp back, but you have to stay out of everyone's way, and you have to do it safely. If you can't control the car while you're limping back, and it means you put it into a wall and ruin someone else's race, then I would say that would be a drive-through penalty.
I
we
would
see
almost
that
go as far as if it happens, you're disqualified.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
look,
that's where I was leaning as well.
Well, it doesn't. Well, I just want to point out, it doesn't matter who he takes out. We're talking about,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. He might take out the person in last place or the person in first place, but we're talking about a judgment call that you can often go wrong. He might have not realised it was as damaged as it was. We haven't looked at his whole lap or what happened or where he was going. I mean, I'd say it's a bit harsh to say DQ someone if that happens.
No, but I'm saying if you were toddling around and you lost control of the car and took out the leader, real world, you wouldn't be disqualified. You lose the license for 6 months.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
So I don't think a DQ for that is out of line at all.
Well, he left anyway, so
Yeah.
it won't matter. But I
I'm
just
not
want
saying
to.
here, but I'm saying moving forward, if somebody's going to drive a car that's really bad, have an accident, and take out, whether it be the leader, whether it be third place, whether it be seventh, doesn't really matter, but take out a guy who's having a good race and is at the front, I think it's
It's pretty bad.
fair to say you make no
Root,
point.
Can you go to Caleb's car for me and just go to have a look at where he had the incident before that and how far he'd been limping back and just the other circumstances around it? Because I think that's just, I'd like to understand that a little bit more before I kind of...
No, I agree, but I'm not talking about this incident. I'm talking about in general. Oh God, it's been for a while.
Yep.
But I'm talking about in general is that it's a really dangerous thing driving a damaged car back. You got to be really careful.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I reckon that's fair. I think we'll have to take it at a case-by-case basis, but if you're limping a car back and you're having multiple incidents along the way and it's clear that it's not able to be controlled,
Well, he knows it can
pull it well off the track so that we don't call a safety car and ask for a tow. If you take that risk, then that's a big risk.
This car should be being driven.
Yeah, like he knows the condition of his car. He's doing 130 k's an hour in a car that's crabbing real bad. So he's a liability now.
Keep going. I just want to see what happens.
We're off the road in the fence again.
I think he was trying to avoid the car behind him. Then he's probably a bit of a hazard as well.
I don't think that was the car behind him. I think it was the car's fucking.
No, I don't think it was under control for sure.
That car's cactus.
I think he saw a car behind him and went to turn. It was just like, oh wait, I have little control of this.
Yeah.
Should have been towed.
Yeah.
Oh, now
And
he's
now he's doing 170 k's an hour. That's just reckless.
Bingo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look, if he'd sat back down and under 100 and where he'd known that it was kind of okay, that probably wouldn't have happened. I think the minute he hit 170 k's an hour, that just...
Yeah.
Well, in the real world, would you be doing 170 k in a car with the wheel hanging off?
No, not a chance.
You'd probably be doing 80.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, that's a huge no-no just for everyone.
Well, there's no point putting a penalty against it. Do we
someone
put a warning against it?
he's left. No, he left the session.
I'm just talking about, like we're saying, it's a warning to people. I mean, if you have something like that, where the car's been in the fence 3-4 times, you're still trying to have a big accident, and you take out somebody who's in the, in the race good and proper. I mean,
you might not be coming back. Yeah.
So, just to be clear, he then towed and then he disconnected for the night. So, there's We're not giving him a penalty
there's no
because
point giving him anything, but
there's just
like,
no point. He that was the end of his race. So a penalty is useless. But I would say I want to put a penalty down anyway, just so that we've got that on record in the sheets. But I'd say I'm just going to put a drive through down for now, or would you rather it be that specific circumstance typically be a DQ?
well, he's left anyway, doesn't matter. Well, actually, put it as a DQ because he's not getting any points.
Okay, I will. All right, hang on. Give me a second. I'll just. Okay. All right, I'm on the protest and appeal sheet now, so on line 36 of the protest and appeal. I'm looking at car 32 on lap 15 with car 7. Now, we looked at this on the night. You'll probably recall this one, Roo.
Is it it?
And so it's the car behind him that wasn't able to avoid him. Now, do you want to look at it first? Or do you want me to read out what I wrote on the night in the steward's run sheet? Let me read it out. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, I said, so car 7 was Jacob Maybury. What we came to the conclusion of was car 7 could have showed more caution when approaching an incident. The following contact may have been avoidable if more care was shown. As it was, the contact, because after he didn't slow down, the contact was unavoidable for the given situation. So basically saying that he probably should have shown more care. Now, we were questionable whether we give him whether it was a penalty or no further action. We went with no further action, given the circumstances of what was going on. But we definitely wanted to see him show more care when approaching what was clearly an incident. So happy to go back and look at a penalty for this. But I think all three of us agreed to do no further off at the time. But
Yeah.
it's been protested, so I'm quite happy to look at it again.
I mean, he's on the skids, hang on.
It was a questionable one, this one.
I'm going to go a little bit of a different view here. Tough one because what's that Damien there?
Yeah, so the cars in front had obviously had to slow down significantly to avoid the other car that was spinning, and the car behind I don't think showed just enough caution. But was it avoidable or not is the question.
Oh. It wasn't bad. Like, he wasn't full noise. He's off the pedal. He's just got caught by the guy from stopping, and then because Damien's rolled out in the middle of the track, he's actually just slammed on the brakes to stop, which is where he's got caught. I think he thought they'd go through with caution, but yeah.
Which is why
a little bit blindsided by the car in front. So
Yeah, I'm still happy with it no further, but like,
I am.
yeah, he's off the throttle on the apex there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in that circumstance he got caught out.
And he's a bit blindsided by the car in front, where he couldn't actually see that. It's a bit hard to see Damien rolling back into the middle of the road. Not that he hadn't finished his accident. It wasn't that he rolled back. But see, from here, the car in front sort of blocks and the smoke. I can't really see what's going on, so I'm off the pedal, but I don't realise that I can see a car over there on the right. I can't see Damien.
You just see the nose of it now.
Yeah, now, and oh shit, too late. Bang. So that's why we give him the benefit of that, because the car that everyone's jumped on, he can't see, and the car in the yellow car there, to me, looking at this, I go, oh, the yellow car, right? Oh, he's off the road. Okay, we should be okay to go through, and suddenly the green car appears out of the smoke.
Yeah. Great, well done for Damien. If he's actually held his brakes down, I can see.
Yeah.
You can see there his front wheels aren't moving.
It's just the nature of the accident. He's sort of come back onto the road.
Yeah, so unavoidable. He showed showed caution,
You think,
and
oh,
then
that's okay,
brought
he's
him
off
out.
on the right. And then you see, oh, shit, there's another one.
Yeah.
Oh, bang.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Perfect, thank you. So we'll keep that as no further action. Agreed. Okay, I think this is the last one. Car 66 on lap 19. Now, I don't think this was really an appeal. I think we put in the sheet, going for an overtake, and let's have a look. Car 66 goes for an opportunistic move on car 27.
Bit of a
doesn't-
Checo moment.
Yeah, goes for an
That's
opportunistic
exactly
move.
what I was thinking.
Well, that's 100% a Checo moment.
That's just way too late.
Nah, that's a penalty.
That's way too late. Sorry, penalty.
Yep, no, it was definitely a penalty, and I think he just wanted to clarify. We said that he was trying to pass, and I think he was just more clearing it up in the steward's run sheet, but he just said that he wasn't actually trying to pass car 27 or put any kind of opportunistic move on him. Drove a
He just
shallow
got-
line,
Just
Yeah.
got caught out.
Well,
got caught out,
yeah, well, that could be
and
wording.
just got caught out by his later apex. I still deserve a penalty, but just wanted to mention I wasn't trying to do a Perez. So,
All right.
yeah.
Fair enough.
So
Perez
that-
did the same thing. He was trying not to do a Josh Stewart.
So yeah, I think that's fair. We wasn't appealing the penalty.
Oh,
We
well,
just wanted to let
Acknowledged.
us
That was
know.
just awkward.
Yeah, acknowledged, but you still get a penalty.
I think he completely agrees with it. So,
Yeah.
all right, that's all of the S5000 ones.
Right.
So that will bring them up. Now, while you're loading the other one,
Yep.
5-second penalty, 10, just do. Yep, okay.
Okay, I'll be back in.
I've marked all the protests and appeals are done, so that's okay. While you're loading that one, Roo,
Yep.
did you want to talk quickly about the Formula 4 results going up? We had that protest that we had to work through over the nearly 2 weeks.
Yep.
We were going back and forth internally on. We've come to a conclusion, which was the livery violation.
Oh yeah, with the livery violation, we went back and forth with that one, and there's a bit of a difference between that one and people that don't read the rules and couldn't give a shit. It was actually a technical kind of issue where the trading paint allowed the wrong car to be loaded onto the Formula Ford, and there was kind of no intention to do the wrong thing. In fact, the intention was to do the right thing, and going by the track record where every race before that was doing the right thing. We've taken that into consideration, gone no further on that one, but there is a clause on if it does happen again in the next race, then it will be reinstated, which we don't expect it to happen, but we still need to do that anyway. So yeah, Andrew Gillingham got overturned on that one on that basis.
Yep, definitely. So, and completely agree. I mean, we're talking about a possible championship defining kind of, no points for the round because of a technical issue with trading paints where the wrong car was applied, and he did everything he could to fix it, and he's always had the right livery on. So I think that's fair with the intention of the rule.
Exactly.
So
sorry, go on.
we don't want to, we're not trying to find ways to penalise people. We need to enforce these things for
No, we
the
have.
sponsors and the people paying for the events to run to the best of our abilities. And we also don't, them as well, the people want to see a championship battle, and we don't want to have that kind of impact a
Absolutely.
lot for what was a really simple, honest, not even a mistake. It was a technical issue
Yeah.
that he tried to fix and did everything he could to. So I'm happy with that. That's.
Yeah. But also on that rule that some people think it's harsh and all, but that is a black and white rule that everyone knows about. It is a rule. It may be harsh, but it's a rule for everyone, and we're also under contract to do this. So it's not just us being harsh and being sticklers. It is actually just a rule.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No,
Part
it's
of the
not,
deal.
we
They
don't
paid
want to
for
just
it to
see.
happen.
Yeah. We're not doing it for the fun of it. We have
Yeah,
to
we're
have
not doing
those
it for fun at all.
logos and liveries on the cars. So that's fine. But Dave, I think you had a pretty good point about real world racing in that case as well, in what would happen if someone had that sort of
Well,
issue.
you'd go through scrutineering and they'd pick you up before you got on the track, and you'd be put the stickers on, although you're not running, and you wouldn't be allowed to go out, and somebody would have the stickers, and if you didn't have one there, they'd stick them on there. But this isn't the real world. The thing is that I felt really bad for Andrew in that, forgetting that he hasn't got the sponsor stickers on it. He was debuting for a new team with the new paint and everything, and it's all gone wrong. And it's all, mate, he had bigger issues than just our stickers, and the intention always from him was to present a really beautiful car with all the stickers on it. The stickers were on it, you just couldn't see them because of the way
Just couldn't see him,
yeah. So, very, very unfortunate. But for me, the big thing was the intention was 100% to present a proper car. And
yeah,
unfortunately, it hasn't happened. It wasn't like he goes, "Oh, I couldn't be bothered putting the stickers on,"
yeah,
or "Oh, I didn't read that," which is the normal answer.
yeah.
He
Or
read
why does it matter?
it, he knew it,
Yeah.
he did it. It just didn't happen. So
Yeah, and I mean, some people are saying, normally in the real world, there'd be a fine. Well, what do you want to pay us? Well, we can't fine you, so
money.
yeah,
I can take money.
yeah, we're happy with the fine.
It's good for me. Look,
Yeah, but what do you do?
And the main thing was that you can't just go, "Oh, that's okay then," because the other people have previously have been penalised for not having that. It would be unfair to them. So you've got to try and be fair across the board. But I think the big difference here is the intention was 100% to do it. And when he knew it was wrong, he tried to fix it between the qualifying and the race, or whatever it was, the heat and the final, or whatever it was. And he tried to reload it, do everything, and it was trying right up until the last moment to get the thing right with every intention, and not just for us, but for his own benefit, because he's got sponsors and things that weren't on the car able to be seen either. So anyway, look, it's bygone. It's last week. It's all over. Forget it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I've updated that in the run sheet, but I will say, I think we can all, offer an apology for the delays. We're talking about something that was 3 weeks ago, and then obviously last week we had a fair number of issues trying to get a day where we could all get together and do the post-race review. So it was already a kind of somewhat contentious discussion with that one. Look, last week we were all busy and we've had to delay the S5000 reviews, and we're doing it now. So and then by the time we're Sunday and then Monday, Tuesday racing, and then back to Wednesday, we're kind of doing 3 weeks at once. So obviously that goes back to the results for the Formula Ford from 3 weeks ago will be updated now. That's all been finalised. The S5000 from last week that we were unable to do the post-race reviews for last week has now been finalised, and now we can move on to the F4 from last night.
Yep.
But yes, apologies, it's taken a couple of weeks, but we're there.
So what have we got next for F4?
F4. All right. Post-race review is line 11, car 10 on lap 2.
Of the...
This will be of the feature. And this is one for Dave to look at. So this is one, I think this is...
disagree.
So Dave, pay some attention.
Is somebody sharing a screen?
No, they're not, Roo.
Why not?
Because I can't see or pay attention if I've got nothing to look at.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty...
It's fair.
That's a fair point.
So, Dave, this is one we need a...
What screen?
Please.
There we go. You watching, Dave?
Yep.
The good old hairpin, where it all happens.
Is this what I thought it was? Obviously can't remember it very well. Yeah.
Whoa. was cool. It was cool. It was like the real thing.
Here we go.
I did see this live.
Oh, we should have been listening to your commentary live.
I'll go in the car as well. And we're waiting on you, Dave, because we've already had this conversation.
Yeah, I'm just looking at thinking. Oh, it was a nice little jig, and he tried to go through the middle. Yeah, very good.
So what are your thoughts, Dave?
I don't know. How did that? What happened to the car in front in the end? Can I go on board with the car in front? Thank you. Oh, you couldn't really avoid him. I think it's probably a penalty, but I don't think it's a very harsh one.
Yep. So the conversation we had was, is that follow on from damage, or is someone hitting
Don't know.
them?
Let's find out.
Someone hit him.
I think someone hit him. I think someone
The
hit
car
him.
on the left.
Oh, it's net
Oh,
code.
Oh,
net
how
code.
about some net code?
Yeah.
Boy, there was some big net code last night on a couple of those incidents. There was huge net code.
Yeah, there was.
So if you want to go back to the incident, Roo, the conversation we were kind of having last night, Dave, that we didn't really agree on was what I'd said was the car
Exactly what Dave
behind.
said.
Well, look, the car behind has outbraked himself. He's lost control. He's not making the corner, and he's hit the car in
Lost the
front.
brake.
But he hasn't ran up his arse and taken him out off the road. So fair. But Roo was saying no further action because he didn't. He made a mistake and had lost control and did everything he could. It was just a little honest mistake and no harm, no foul. He kind of doesn't appear to have damaged this car. But I kind of looked at it and said, what's the difference of him losing control, hitting the brakes, locking up, and then hitting the guy in the back of the car or in the side of the car? For me, it's not a lot of difference.
For me, the difference was it was a really nice piece of driving to avoid the guy in front. He did a great job. Unfortunately, he's clipped the guy, so no harm, no foul. But he has made contact with the car, and we did say before, if he'd locked up, if he hadn't hit that car in front, I'd be going no further. Forget it.
Oh,
Just
absolutely.
It's all good.
Oh, for
But
sure.
I think because he's hit that car, that's an incident, and so I'd probably give it no more than 5 seconds.
Yep.
But there should be something because he made contact.
I think that's the exact
It's pretty much
conversation.
the argument that
That was
Ty
our
put
entire
forward.
conversation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, just because I don't know whether he's damaged the car, whatever. And the next time, what if somebody hits somebody a bit harder? And so then you go, well, what's the difference between a little tap here and a big tap there? Is it the severity of the and it's like, well, you can't sort of judge what's severe and what's not severe. So you've got to say, if he hits the guy, he gets a penalty. And if he'd damaged the car in front and torn a wheel off it, I'd be going, we're probably looking at a drive-through. But because it was a bit of a racing incident touch and everyone got away with it, but at the end of the day, he's made contact with somebody. So
Look,
I'd go 5
So,
seconds.
He's going up his ass when he drives through.
if he went up his arse and punted him off, it'd be a
Because
drive-through.
if he did that, he would have punted the car in front off. If
So
he just tapped the guy in front and the guy got sideways and continued around the corner,
He
you
almost
wouldn't be
made
going,
it.
that's a drive-through, would you?
He almost made it through the slot, didn't he?
no, absolutely. If they
It's a nice piece of driving.
Almost.
Very nice piece of driving.
now, I just want to ask quickly as well, Roo, just on the conversation we were kind of having about whether they hit him in the side of the car or the back of the car. If he'd done the same, if he'd locked up and smashed him in the side of the car and punted him off and, taking him out, would that
I
be a
wouldn't have
drive-through
seen
as
it.
well?
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't have seen any
Okay, cool.
difference.
Perfect.
The only reason I said that is because I looked at it and went, well, nothing really happened.
No. But he has caused the car in front to lose position.
Lose a spot. Yeah, he did. He lose a spot.
And I don't know how much damage he's carrying as a result of that incident. And he did come out of control and hit a car in front. And if he'd hit him in the back and just lifted the car up and the guy got a bit sideways and got away with it, we'd be going, it's not a drive-through because he hasn't really punted the guy off the road. And he hasn't in this case either.
But as kind of
That's a nice drive.
back towards the rules, if he'd not locked up and been able to stop it and he's in front now, if he'd been able to keep it on the track and leave a car width to the outside, it would have then been on car 10 to...
I don't think that was going to happen.
No, but...
in a fucking month of Sundays.
No, but I think the thing is he was not making the corner.
Nah.
He was absolutely not making the corner. He's made contact with the car.
And he had to go.
He
He had to go not hit
trying
anyone.
to avoid everybody and go through the gap.
Yeah.
If he'd been another foot to the right, he would have made that through that gap.
Yeah, I reckon. Maybe.
If he'd aimed, instead of trying to avoid the car, not the car in front, but the car in front of him, if he tried to stop trying to avoid the green and white car and actually aimed straight for him, by the time he got there, the green and white car would have been gone and he would have gone straight through the hole. So if he's a foot more to the right, heading straight for that car,
Yeah.
slid through that hole.
Amazing. Yeah, all right. So that's a 5
Pretty good
second.
reaction, I gotta say.
Definite penalty. It's only 5 seconds because it appears to be slight contact. He's lost the position. He has
He's
done everything he can
that
to
right rear is all fucked anyway.
yeah, he's done everything he can to avoid the incident. And we're getting a 5 second penalty because he did make contact after losing, and he wasn't going to make the corner.
Certainly some bad wheel alignment on the rear of that.
Yeah.
All right, we have. I'm just having a quick look. Sorry, we've got one more to review, and I think it's the last one. So car 10 on lap 1.
Why does that only have yellow stickers on the tyres on the inside right rear?
Mm.
You see what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
See, on the inside of the left rear, there's no...
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just
Weird.
appears when it wants to appear. I think it's just hitting the light. It's just the way the light's hitting it.
Okay, so this is car 10 and car 21 on lap 1 off
Right.
the
I thought he
heat.
put these tyres on back to front.
Now, there's a comment in the appeals if you guys want to have a quick look.
Oh, I haven't got it open, so.
All right, well,
Yeah.
actually, I'll read it now while you guys are looking at this.
Oh, that was good. Oh,
Was that? Oh, hang on.
Oh. Well, see, that was a little bit... The thing was he was in front of the corner, so he has the right to do it.
Oh,
Yeah, I
don't know.
I got a bit of an issue with car 21 chopping right across the road like that. In pack racing.
Do you reckon he
There's
knows?
no room at all for a car on the inside. Just chop.
But look where he is.
You got a bit more of an overhead on that.
Dave, completely agree. I think what we looked at was, in the line of the rules in terms of overlap and whether he had the right to be there. I think in terms of racecraft, car 21 should not have. It's just assumed that he's got the whole track.
But look where he is now, though.
You're two abreast and you're pack racing. There's 5 of you all together. You can't just chop from the outside to the inside.
But look where he is, though. Do you reckon he? I mean, I wouldn't have thought that he would have been there. Like he was off the. Hang on, let's go back.
Yeah, but he's moving.
But he's off the right. Here, let's
Go
go.
back
Let's go
further
to.
around the corner and go on board with car 21.
Where's car 21?
On board with car
There's 21, right?
Right, and go back further. I want to go back further.
Yeah,
back
yeah.
before the
I just wanted to see that bit. See, that looks
Yeah.
like he stumped him from that angle.
Go back here. Now go on board, cockpit. I want to see what he's seen. So I've come down to this corner, okay, and somebody's a bit of a lock break, and somebody's run a bit wide.
Oh,
And
he's-
I'm going, okay, and he's in the mirror. Look, he's all over the mirror.
No, that's a different
Shit,
car.
different one.
That's a different car.
Yeah, see, you can't see it, can you?
No.
He's just in a blind spot.
So hang on. So we've got car. He's going off track. There. That's him. Right, dropping out of the frame now.
Oh,
Well
Both
off.
cars.
Yeah.
I'm still saying here, he's
See,
also, look,
there's
I've got a car in the mirror.
Well, that's car 8. That's a different car.
I know, but there's cars everywhere. And I'm sitting on the outside. I'm thinking, do I just chop across?
I mean,
Alright.
he wouldn't have had anything in
No.
like a. He wouldn't have had like crew chief or anything saying, you know, car.
That would have been
Outside
quite
of
a
that point,
surprise, to
there
be honest with you.
There was no overlap from car 10.
Yeah.
So what we looked at, car 10 didn't
Well,
have
let's go with
didn't
this.
have sufficient overlap so wasn't entitled to space on the road, and obviously car 21 was taking the racing line, albeit you know,
Can you go on board with the car that, whatever it is,
Well, I'm going
is on
for
the inside?
on the inside.
The guy that gets chopped off. That one.
Oh,
The one
yeah,
that's just
okay,
the
yeah.
one there,
Yeah.
whoever that is. That car.
Yeah.
Right, and go back so I can see it at real speed, please.
Yep.
Run wide. Back on the road. Good safe recovery. I'm saying, and woof. See, from here, I'm going, I didn't know he was out there either. Certainly didn't expect him to chop across like that. So I think both of them were suffering from cars in blind spots. You know, he's made a decent, and he's not chopping across to the left because he's mindful of cars out there. And he goes, okay, there's a car out there. Yes, we're going into here, but it does just close so rapidly.
I don't think anyone's done really anything wrong.
I don't think either. I don't think anyone's done wrong. I think, unfortunately, there's 3 cars there, and you know each car can only see one other. They're not seeing both the cars, and it's just unfortunate.
yeah, which I think is pretty. Oh, it's not word for word, but it's pretty much what car has been put into the protest and appeals, something along those lines.
I don't think anyone's done anything particularly wrong because I think the orange car has made a good re-entry. He just thought there was a bit of room there, and it shuts so quickly.
Now, car 10 didn't, you know, redress his position, or he's caused an incident and driven off. But are we looking at a?
No, I don't think
Obviously,
there's a redress
on the
situation there at
night,
all.
I don't think it was. I think on the night it was a 20-second penalty. So, but if we're saying that's that's a no further action, like that's a racing incident, then there's no need to redress, and that's keep going, all good. But are we saying? Is that what we're saying? It's no further action, or are we still looking at it as a penalty, just not a 20-second penalty?
I don't think it's 20 seconds.
No, I think I agree with that. Looking at
Yeah, I don't think so.
discussion you guys had.
I'm just not sure. Like, if I apply a penalty, where do I apply it?
Well, if you can't decide, that's a good argument for a race incident.
The actual one that's causing, and he hasn't done anything wrong, but car 8 in the middle, it's a bit of a like, everyone thinks he's the car next to them and they haven't seen the other one. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, because when we looked at it
Yeah.
on the night, it looked really bad, but
Not really bad.
it's
Because when you look at the cockpit, the third car plays a big role, and he hasn't done anything wrong. He's just there, and so he's like the ghost car, and everyone thinks, "Oh, that's the only other car there," and it's not. There's 2 of them, and they happen to be the same colour.
true.
Look, I think if you can't think of when to apply a penalty, I think that
Can you go back
there's
to
no
car 10
penalty there.
Can you go to car 10 in the cockpit for me? I just want to check, like, whether you're, and obviously you're looking at a screen here. You can look left and right.
Yeah.
If you're in VR, you can look left and right. If you don't, we're not going to assume people have triples or not, and they can see everything, but you still have the ability to look left and right if you can't see a car.
And
Now, I just want now you can see there's a car on his left here. He can absolutely know there's a car there,
Yeah.
and so I
He,
still think that he should have. I don't
Well,
think
he
he's
could-
assuming that that car's going to come
Yeah.
straight across
I mean, he could
on
have
that
yielded
line.
a bit because I don't think he had at this stage before the. I hate saying turn in, but before I don't
there's
think
a
he
car there.
had. I don't think he had the overlap here.
No, I just don't think he thought that car was going to come from left to right as quickly as it does.
Mm.
And
But that is the
it
racing
really
line.
But I mean,
surprised
it's a
me.
racing line, and I mean,
Yeah.
he doesn't have any right really.
No, car 10 has no right for the space that he's got.
It's
What
just
the
changed
question
gears.
is whether he's realistically should have expected car 21 to come across like that. And I think to a degree he should have. That is the line, the racing line. Yes, as Dave said, car 21 could have not, in a pack of cars, not taken that line. But I think there's circumstances to say it's not a 20-second penalty, but I think it's still at least a 5, if not a 10-second penalty.
Yeah, I agree, and it's for this car that we're in now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he's the only one with a real option to bail out. Right? When he sees it, oh shit, I better get out of here. But I am surprised how quick the car comes across.
Now he's not lifted it. I don't know if I think he's sort of saying he's lifted as soon as he realised car 21 was coming across. But I mean, he's still changing up a gear at that point.
Yeah.
Can you go? Can you hear the? I can't hear the.
I'll just turn it up a little bit. Nah,
He's off the throttle when
he's off the throttle as he hits. No.
as soon as he starts coming across, he gets off the throttle. But you can't really jump in the brake.
No.
Certainly not there.
No.
So I'm happy for not a 20-second penalty. I think that there's enough
I think 20
circumstances to say that's harsh.
I agree.
Sure. Agree. Completely agree. Is there enough circumstances to drop that to a 5, or do we stay with a 10? Knowing as well that if he's done that bump and run and it's not a racing incident, that he has then spun someone around and driven off as well. So I think 10 myself. I'd go for a 10-second penalty.
Yeah. I'd be happy with that.
Dave, what
And
do you think?
I'm still like maybe a 5, but like I'm still happy with a 10.
You can say 5 and see what Dave says, but what do you think, Dave?
Dave?
I'm probably leaning more to a 5, but the 10's fine. Look, it's a penalty. It's a penalty, but it's not a harsh one. I mean, it's such a small thing, and I was in the car. It was like, holy crap, that car came right across like that at a rush. He hasn't done anything wrong. It's just you just don't expect it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's quite. I'm thinking that.
Well, the car on the left has got out of it, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And he's left room too, and not chopped across.
Yeah. Nobody's done anything particularly wrong. No one has. But as a result of an accident, look, yeah.
I'd be more inclined for a 5 personally.
I would too if he'd redressed the position, but I think in the moment he's gone, look, that's not my fault, and driven off. But
Well, yeah, I would have been a little bit, if I was driving that car, I would have thought, well, I didn't do anything really wrong there.
yeah, I'm driven off. So
Yeah, because you need to review it. Like we're looking at it and still can't work it out.
yeah,
How he's supposed to do that, having run through it at real time. And here he's going, shit, is my car all right? Have I bent wheels? Is the steering wheel straight?
that's more than
and
fair.
he's got clobbered there to be put him off the road as well. So, yeah, that was legit though. But, and he's way out here going, oh, is the car all right? Is it straight? Is it handling all right? Can I turn in here? I'll car up the inside. I'll let him go.
I just want to see. Sorry, Rude. Let's not make a decision just yet. I just want to have a look at what other penalties we gave in the race. There was a 10-second penalty for car 233 on lap 18 was a 10-second penalty. But this one was a bit different. This was we were talking about a drive-through penalty for this one, and we reduced it.
I've got to admit, when I saw that come up on the commentary screen, I was surprised that car got a 20-second penalty.
2, 2, 3 on 8 in the feature.
So yeah, it was a feature. 233 on car and car 92 on lap 18.
18.
Lap 18, yep. Yeah, no, looking at Dave, I agree. I completely agree. 20 seconds is too much for that.
Oh yeah, that was at the bum though.
Yeah, and there was a little bit of mitigating too, because it looks like he's over on the left, and you're going, and he's moved across and jumped on the brake. So there was a little bit mitigating there, but completely the fault of the car behind.
Yeah.
That's,
what did we get that one?
10. We said okay. So we talked about drive-through penalty. So I've got car 233 ran into back car 92 drive-through penalty.
For this one.
Drive-through penalty was discussed. The stewards have reduced the penalty down to 10 seconds because there were intersecting lines between both cars on approach to the corner. Car 92 was braking in a diagonal line moving from the middle of the track across the outside. Car 233 was already on the outside of the track and braking in a straight line. Car 233 could brake later than 92, which caught car 233 out.
He
car
moved across in front of him under brakes, didn't he?
Yeah, well, the car 92 was following a typical racing line, and while didn't do anything wrong, but yeah, there was a braking in a diagonal line, and we said car 233 was
he hasn't
fault.
kept his line under braking, has he?
Yeah, he wasn't moving under brakes. He's taking that line. He was in front. He was entitled to it, but I think the circumstances were that it was a realistic situation that caught car 233 out, which is why we didn't give it a drive.
And here again, the car's driven away as well. So if they got a 10-second, I'd definitely give the other one only a 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because the other one is a lot less of a misdemeanor than that was.
Yeah.
Done. That's fine. All good. All right.
I was really surprised you didn't give that one. I thought that's going to be a drive-through for sure.
Yeah, and we did have a little bit of a look at it. And we absolutely, the initial thing was drive-through, and then I think we had
when you did it had to be for the coming across in front of him under brakes was the only reason I could see you wouldn't do a drive-through.
Yeah, it was, and that was just the circumstances where, and also if you have a look at them on the laps, so we went back and had a look at laps at the braking points, and car 92, because he was on that line, broke earlier than was expected, and he had in the other laps, and that also caught car 233 out. And these two guys have been driving lap by lap by lap behind each other, and it's unfortunate because I think it was Caleb was literally lifting on the straights and driving behind Philip, and just cruising around, and I think trying to make sure they weren't fighting and letting the people catch up to him, and then this happened, and we don't think it was deliberate or malicious. I think it just caught him out.
The thing I will say, if you're on the road and the person in front of you brakes a bit early and you run in the back of them, you're still at fault in the accident.
Completely.
Yeah.
Completely. But that just the circumstances is what contributed to that being downgraded to a 10. Yeah. I will also point out that Caleb did really, really well. I think he ended up coming back to 4th position or something, and Philip Worley, while he went off in front, and
he's carrying
something like 8th.
He's carrying a fair bit of damage from that accident, which affected him at the end.
Yeah. But yes, our initial was drive-through for that one. I think we did have a fairly close look at it and ended up reducing it. So, but yes, I agree, Dave. We've reduced that one to 10 seconds, so I don't think we'll give the other one a 10-second. We'll make that a 5. And there was, similar kind of circumstances where car 21 was in a pack of cars has kind of gone left to right across, and the time he turned in, he definitely wouldn't have had someone saying, there's a car on your inside, but with the lines that they were taking that car on the inside, got further up quite quickly. But it was still the fault of car 10, and he was probably the only car there that could have avoided that incident, having visibility of the car that was there, and
All right.
didn't
What's
didn't
next?
avoid it. So I think that's all of them.
Already.
That's it. All right.
Off, that's, yep, confirmed. That's all of them. They're all there. That means we can do post-race time penalties and points and everything now.
Great. All right. Well, I've got a day off on Friday, so I'm not going to be happening.
Legend. Thanks, mate.
So what have we got coming up next? F4. Where are we? Spa. There'll be more people for Spa. How come it? Like, I found the racing really good. There was only 15 whatever people, but I think the racing was better than it had ever been.
I liked that we didn't have that many incidents. I liked that there's a lot less cars on the track. The racing, I think, was a lot better because there were because there was a lot more space for people to get around, and we had some real specific battles going on around the track. There was a few cars there that were battling through both races lap for lap, and it was really good to watch. We also, because we didn't have a lot of incidents to review, I was able to put down notes against all of the incidents. And I think that's a real benefit as well. There's quite detailed notes against all of the incidents and what we reviewed them, how we reviewed them on the night. So that kind of helps as well. So I like the format with less cars. It worked well.
Yeah, me too. And yeah, that's something we're definitely going to have to come into.
And then the week after, your S5000 at Magny-Cours. That'll be a
Woo!
diabolical.
We need another person on that.
That'll be a diabolical.
Really will.
It's a circuit with a lot of curving places where you're putting the power on. It's not get it straight and squirt. It's like you're accelerating but round a curve, and these things are some beast. So on the S5000, a bit of a beast. So there you go.
Good luck to all. Well, thanks for tuning in. For the people that watch this later, and I hope you got something out of that. Onward to next week. I'm going to sign off and see you on the next race.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.